was a century and already a widow. Even after the funeral, she didn't open the curtains, and the whole house was dim. "You are in mourning," Auntie reminded us, whenever we laughed or asked to go outside. I did my best to act mournful. I put on a long face and spoke in a low voice, as much as I could, but I just wanted to be normal again. I resented the fact that our father had died, but more than that, I resented that we had to act like it. I remember ducking under the drapes to look out of the window. I wanted to see life, alive on the other side of the glass, a glimpse of sky and grass, and Ben Craig, still there, patiently waiting on the horizon. I stood, gazing out, sucking my plait, and letting the sun warm my face, and remembered the minty smell of outside. The curtain rustled behind me, and Mum's hand grabbed my ear and hauled me out and swiped my plait from my mouth. "Stop sucking your hair. It looks like rats' tails." I blinked away my tears, and after that I saved my wishing until night time, when I could lie in bed and suck my plait and pretend we were a normal family again. Mum began to spend most of the day in her room. One time, I heard her in there, banging on the wall. Bruce and I slipped along the hall and found her nailing a dark blanket against the window with a hammer. "What are you doing, Mum?" I asked from the doorway. "It's too light and I can't sleep." "Well, that's because it's day." She swung around and let the hammer fly. It whirled across the room in the air, and Bruce and I jumped as it hit the door frame next to us and clunked to the floor. Mum stood trembling by the half-hung blanket, fists at her sides. "Get out!" she screamed. "Get out!" We ran and ran down the hallway away from her screams. After that, Mum only came out of her room in the afternoons when Auntie Lorna visited. Lorna was the only one brave enough to enter Mum's bedroom, although I had to go in there each morning to fetch her chamber pot and carry it to the outhouse without spilling any. Each evening, Auntie Lorna prepared our supper and left it on the table while she headed to Mum's room. We weren't allowed to touch the food until Mum emerged, so the three of us stood around the table, eyeing the bread and the soup and smelling its warmth, and willing Mum and Auntie Lorna to hurry up. Down the hall, Mum would shuffle, leaning on Auntie's arm. She was still in her 90, her face flushed from the eiderdown. She'd teeter in the doorway, holding onto the wall, because the light was too bright. "That crack!" she'd say, squinting and holding a hand over her eyes. Norman, Auntie Lorna's husband, ended up bringing sheets of fabric from his store, covering each window so the whole house became dark and cold. But we were sick of living like it, sick of not being able to make a noise or play, and we were angry that our father had gone and that this was our life. We couldn't keep it bottled up, so we took it out on each other. Each day as she left, Auntie Lorna pinched my elbow and pulled me close towards her. "Be good," she'd say, and I'd feel her breath against my ear. "Because if you aren't, your mum will be in the asylum, and you will be in an orphanage."